Good morning, students. Welcome back to the biology class of 6. Dear students, after watching the last two videos, you must have come to know that it is very important to eat right kind of food because food contains various nutrients that help our body perform various functions. When the body does not get certain amount of nutrients, we fall sick. Diseases which arise due to lack of sufficient nutrients in our diet over long period of time is called deficiency diseases. Let us learn about some of the deficiency diseases along with their causes and symptoms. Open the page 24 and look at the figure 10. We see a child suffering from kwashiorkor. Now, what is kwashiorkor? Look into the book. The deficiency of proteins in the diet of small children causes a disease known as kwashiorkor. Understand? So this disease is caused due to lack of proteins in the diet. Kwashiorkor diseases occurs in children of 1 to 5 years of age. So the age at which the kwashiorkor disease may occur is between 1 to 5 years of age. Understand, children? Dear students, this type of disease occurs due to malnutrition. Malnutrition means poor nutrition, and generally this malnutrition occurs in those families where there is poverty. Understand, children? Because these type of people, they cannot provide sufficient nutrient to their children. Understand? So one reason of kwashiorkor is discussed in the book. Kwashiorkor develops when a mother stops feeding her child with breast milk due to the birth of another baby too soon. Understand? And after weaning, that is removing from the protein rich breast milk, we all know, children, that breast milk is rich in protein, isn't it? The child from a poor family is given a diet consisting mainly of carbohydrates having low protein content. Okay, so in this type of family where mother has given birth to a new baby, then she deprives her first child from breast milk, and then what happens, instead of providing supplement, they cannot afford to give them sufficient nutrient from outside. Okay, and instead of that, the main diet which consists of these children is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates just give them the energy, but the body building process stops. Okay, and they appear somewhat as shown in the figure 10. Understand, children? Now again look at the figure 10. Here from the picture we can make out what are the symptoms which indicate that this child is suffering from kwashiorkor. Number 1, the hair of the child changes color and becomes red. Understand? So it gives an unhealthy look. Understand, children? Why? Because hair is purely made up of protein. So the structure of the hair, that is, or sorry, we can say the texture of the hair changes due to lack of protein. Number 2, the skin of the child cracks and become scaly. Understand? The skin of the child otherwise is very smooth, isn't it? And soft. But the child who is suffering from kwashiorkor, their skin cracks, okay, and becomes scaly, that is rough. Then the stomach of the child becomes swollen and bulges out, as you see in the picture. Okay, and swelling of face and feet also takes place. Then the child has stunted growth. Stunted growth means slow growth. They do not show the normal growth as the other children who are having good diet shows. The child has reduced resistance to infection. Means the child easily falls sick, and he has less poor resistance to infection. They get infected very quickly with one or other kind of diseases, and the child becomes weak and irritable. Okay, weak and irritable means they are not as energetic as other children, and their nature becomes very irritable. They become chidchida. Understand? All whole day crying, not happy. Okay, so students, any guesses how the child suffering from washoker can be cured? Yes, the child suffering from washoker can be cured by providing food rich in protein nutrients. The child should be provided with foods like milk, fish, meat, chicken, eggs, soya bean, and groundnut, which are good sources of proteins. Now, let us discuss another disease caused due to malnutrition. Look into the figure 11. Here we see a child suffering from marasmus, which is a deficiency disease caused due to lack of proteins and carbohydrates in the diet. Therefore, the deficiency of proteins as well as carbohydrates in the diet of very small children, that is babies, cause a disease known as marasmus. Marasmus disease occurs in infants or babies of up to 1 year of age. Marasmus develops when infants below the age of 1 year are abruptly weaned away from breast milk and are subsequently given a less nutritive food which is deficient in proteins as well as carbohydrates. Understand, children? So, this disease occurs in those children who are not even given the breast milk for even 1 year. Okay, they are abruptly removed from this breast milk feeding. Then what happens after that? After that, they are not even provided enough supplementary food which are rich in protein and carbohydrates. So they are totally lacking the nutrition in their food. Understand? Such a food is inadequate for the normal growth and development of the child. Means they are undernourished. So that hampers their normal growth and development. Understand? So that is why look into the figure 11. The child shows very poor health. Isn't it, children? It seems as if an old man is sleeping. Isn't it, children? So what do we see here? We see that the child has become very lean and thin. Understand? And the child is reduced to just skin and bones. Isn't it, children? It is very clear from the picture. And you see, the ribs of the child also look very prominent. And the child cannot even move due to lack of energy. We can make out from the picture, isn't it, children? That the child is unable to move due to lack of energy. And the growth of the child stops completely. We can make out from the picture. And last, the child weight become very low for his age. There they become underweight. So these are the symptoms which indicate that the child is suffering from marasmus. So how to make them healthy, children? Of course, by providing food rich in proteins as well as carbohydrates. So they should be given enough protein rich food and carbohydrate rich food. Isn't it, children? Okay. Open the page 25. Here we are going to discuss vitamin and mineral deficiency diseases. Deficiency of vitamin A. The deficiency of vitamin A weakens our vision or eyesight in dim light. Due to this, a person having deficiency of vitamin A cannot see properly in dim light or at night. The inability of a person to see properly in dim light, especially at night, is called night blindness. Understand, children? Therefore, the deficiency of vitamin A in the diet causes a disease known as night blindness. In severe cases, it can also lead to total blindness. So, how can we prevent ourselves from night blindness? By taking vitamin A rich food like milk, butter, eggs, green leafy vegetables, and papaya in our diet. Now, come to deficiency of vitamin B1. The deficiency of vitamin B1 in food causes a disease known as beriberi. The symptoms of beriberi are as follows. The muscles of the person become very weak and he has very little energy to do work. The person may suffer heart failure or become paralyzed and then die. Eating food like milk, eggs, potatoes, yeast and green vegetables can prevent from beriberi. Deficiency of vitamin C. The deficiency of vitamin C causes a disease known as scurvy. The symptoms of scurvy are bleeding from the gums, loosening of teeth, and wounds do not heal easily. Understand? If there is any wound in the body, it does not get healed quickly. It takes time. Citrus fruits like oranges and lemon and amla, tomato and fresh green vegetables can prevent from scurvy. Next come to deficiency of vitamin D. The deficiency of vitamin D in the diet of small children causes a disease known as rickets. A child suffering from rickets has bow legs, that is bent legs, and a pigeon type chest. The deficiency of vitamin D also leads to poor teeth formation. Intake of food like milk, fish, egg, butter and fish liver oil may prevent the disease called rickets. Also, sunlight, as we know, is a very good source of vitamin D. So, if the skin of the body is exposed to sunlight, we may get sufficient vitamin D. Isn't it, children? Now, let us discuss mineral deficiency diseases. Deficiency of calcium. When a child is born, its bones are soft. For the bones to become hard, calcium compounds must be supplied. If a child does not get sufficient amount of calcium, its bones remain soft and bend under the weight of its own body. This is called rickets. Thus, the deficiency of calcium in the diet of children causes a disease called rickets. The main symptoms of rickets are bow legs, that is bent legs, and pigeon type chest. So we see these symptoms when a child is suffering from vitamin D deficiency also. Why? Because vitamin D and calcium, their function is interconnected. Vitamin D absorbs calcium, and in absence of calcium, vitamin D will not do any work. There will be no absorption of calcium. So in absence of vitamin D also rickets will occur. In absence of calcium also rickets will occur. Okay, this is this deficiency disease children occurs generally in children, not in adults. In case of adults, the deficiency of calcium causes brittle bones and teeth. That is, brittle means which can break easily. Intake of calcium-rich food like milk, egg, and green vegetables can prevent the disease due to deficiency of calcium. Now come to deficiency of iodine. The deficiency of iodine mineral in the diet can cause two diseases, cretinism and goiter. The deficiency of iodine in the diet of children sorry, causes a disease known as cretinism. Cretinism means feeble-mindedness. The main symptoms of iodine deficiency in children or cretinism disease are retarded physical growth and mental disability. Now, the deficiency of iodine in the diet of an adult person causes a disease called goiter. Goiter is the abnormal enlargement of thyroid glands situated in our neck. Look at the figure 14. This is a picture of a woman suffering from iodine deficiency disease called goiter. Do you see the swollen neck? Okay. The main symptoms of iodine deficiency is that the neck of the person appears to be swollen. Understand, children? The goiter disease is more common in hilly areas because the drinking water and food grown in such areas are poor in iodine. Understand? In hilly areas, drinking water lack iodine. Actually, iodine is present naturally in water. We have discussed in the previous video, isn't it? Therefore, when water is lacking iodine, then food grown in such land will also lack in iodine, isn't it? Therefore, this disease is very common in hilly region. The goiter disease does not occur in coastal areas. Why? Because coastal people eat a lot of seafood and seafood are rich in iodine, isn't it? So in order to prevent this disease, the most common source of iodine mineral in our home is the iodized salt used in cooking food. So if we use iodized salt in our in cooking food, then this we may prevent ourselves from this disease goiter. Understand, children? Okay. Now come to the third deficiency, that is deficiency of iron. Iron mineral is necessary for making hemoglobin present in our red blood cells. Isn't it? We have discussed in the previous class. Due to deficiency of hemoglobin, that is caused by lack of iron, the blood of a person is not able uh, to carry sufficient oxygen to all the body cells to meet the requirement of oxidation of food and production of energy. Understand? Because it is hemoglobin which carries oxygen and oxygen is required for respiration. That is, oxidation of food means respiration. This is the process which occurs in respiration, and we know that respiration is necessary for getting energy. So what will happen due to lack of this iron? This will lead to anemia. Okay. Anemia is a disease in which the level of hemoglobin in the blood is less than normal. Okay, reducing the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. Thus, the deficiency of iron in the diet leads to a disease called anemia. The main symptoms of iron deficiency disease are the person looks pale, feels very weak, tires easily, and loses weight. His nails also turn white. Understand? So, in order to get rid of this disease, we should take food rich in iron like spinach and other green leafy vegetables. Okay, children? So, dear students, what have we learned from today's class? We have learned that if all of us eat a balanced diet, then there will be no shortage of any nutrient in our body, isn't it? And we will not suffer from any deficiency disease. Thus, all the deficiency diseases can be prevented by eating a balanced diet. Isn't it, children? Hope now you have understood the importance of balanced diet in your life. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you, children.